It didn't take much more than a bottle and 2 chairs to make a speakeasy. This is what Daniel Okrent said in his book, Last Call, The Rise and Fall of Prohibition. Today, join us for some stories. Get your own bottle, glass, or mug, and relax. This is Speak Easily, and I'm your host, Krista Stauffer.
We've just been discussing this, and we've come to a place.
Oh, leave meeting. Just kidding.
Bye.
Recording?
Not for a chance.
So, a place where butchering happens of animals.
Okay.
Is it called a butchery?
Googling presently.
I've never heard butchery. I've heard.
That sounds.
It sounds.
Oh,
Very,
do I have a URL for you, Krista?
oh, do you?
It sounds like it's like somebody's being butchery, you know, like
All right.
I feel
I'm
more
sending
human
this
than
to. How do I send this to you in chat in the thing?
Do I really want to look this up? Why don't should
Here,
you?
I'm just going to send it to you via text message here.
Okay, I'm really excited because we need to.
And then
know.
I have to feed my cat. Otherwise, it's going to be a bad podcast, gang.
Yeah, her or him.
We are
So,
starting off
yeah.
with talking about butcheries.
Yeah, the butchery. It is literally thebutchery.com. So no, butcherymeats.com. So yes, it is butchery.
That's a place, Ben. That's not a general, like, this is where we slaughter the pigs. It's our butchery.
I think that sounds so right, but maybe just because other words.
Don't.
That is an excellent point. That is an excellent. I like the way you think.
You know,
So.
so I'm here. Oh my goodness. Hi, Eryn and Michael.
Hi.
Chris.
How
Hi.
are you?
Hi,
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you both on the podcast again.
Yes, it's good to be here.
It's been, Eryn, I was trying to remember, when was Mamma Mia? Was that February
Yeah, it was February.
of this same year? So it
Yeah.
feels like it's been about 17 years since
It does. It really does.
What day are we on now? You're keeping track, right?
Yeah, my friend Clint keeps track every day. We are like 208, 206, 208.
That might as well be infinity. Honestly, I don't know. Nothing
That's what it feels like.
makes sense now.
Mhm.
No, I mean, I'm trying to like think of the numbers in terms of, where else do we count? Obviously 365, we all know that's a full year. Think of like gestation for a baby is what, 270 days. So essentially we've almost had a baby.
Yeah,
We're
And it's
third trimester for sure. So.
Ugh,
there's probably a lot of women out there in third trimester right now.
not me.
Not me.
I mean, congrats all you moms, but
Yes, of course.
no. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Good, yeah.
Good.
Really, really good.
We're I guess we're a little more calm now. We finally finished all of our filming, so
Okay.
it's a little more calm now.
So
Just a
now
little-
it's your part is done, essentially, just getting it to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have some more steps, but we're almost there.
It feels sort of never ending because I think, as an actor, you're like, I'm gonna go and do my job, and then I get to go home. But
Yeah.
with this show, like from start to finish, we have our hands in everything. So it's
Mhm.
getting the rights, directing ourselves, getting the funds to produce it, fundraising, and then gathering a team together to actually do the show, finessing the different cogs.
Do you like his
And-
hand gestures?
Yeah, I'm holding a wine tool just for you, Krista, too.
Hey.
Yep. But really, that's what it is. It's constant work. So when we weren't working on lines and stuff, we were getting the ticket site ready to go so that people could buy
The
tickets.
poster, like we did all our graphics, we've done all that. So
So let's pause for a second because we'll get there. But I want to start first off by saying you guys came on tonight because you did a musical in spite of this year oh hell. You figured out something. I wanted to make it Irish. It's a year of hell. You guys found a way to do something completely creative and safe and a new opportunity for both of you but really a chance for people to enjoy a piece of theater, and that is Daddy Longlegs.
It is
Yes.
Daddy Longlegs. Yes.
It's not about a spider.
Just a
It's
spider.
not the arachnophobia, the musical.
No, we'll do that one next.
I would love to play the John Goodman character in that. That'd be amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't want to see the props for that one, but so take us back to like where, and both of you have been on the podcast before because you're both local performers. So give us like a brief introduction just for our new listeners in case they didn't catch it before. Tell us who you guys are.
Go for it. No, I don't know.
Oh,
You
okay.
go.
Well, Erin's going to take a second to think about who she is, and I will go ahead and start since I know who I am. I'm Michael Ruehrmund, and I am from the Westerville area originally. I went to school here, and then I went to Otterbein with Krista. So that was my humble beginnings, and then I took a 13-year gap where I didn't do anything creative really, and this person next to me who's about to introduce herself pushed me back into it about 3.5 years ago, and it's sort of been the thing that was missing from my life. So I've been nonstop performing. I've picked up some directing since then, and that's been the tale. So in the short version of the story.
I like that. Good. Eryn, tell us who you are. Did you get enough time?
I think so. I
Okay.
think so. I brainstormed who I am now.
Okay, good.
My name is Eryn Emery Hollobaugh, and I did not go to Otterbein among all you talented people, but I have been lived in Westerville pretty much my whole life. I went to school at Belmont for a while and knew that I really wanted to do something in theater, but I was too nervous and shy to try out. So I didn't really start it until mostly, like, I did some musical theater when I was in college and high school, but I didn't really start doing shows all the time until, I don't know, once I came back, so 8 years ago maybe. And then only the last couple years have I really realized how much I love it, and I've been doing multiple shows a year, I guess, trying to, I don't know, put my feet in wherever I can.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're in a great city for that. I mean, there's a lot of different opportunities. You both have worked with a lot of different companies and a lot of new things that probably wouldn't have been on your plate 10 years ago before.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Especially, and I mean, I say more toward Mike because I've known you for a long time. Like
A long time, yeah.
I mean, we're going on like 20 years, aren't we?
At least.
At least, yeah. But there were only so many opportunities in college to do specific things. I did much less than you did in college, but it's interesting to see how many, even taking an 11-year gap, there's been a lot of new things that you've had a chance to do, which is very, very nice. It's very nice. Yeah.
I know. I picked the right time to come back. You know.
You did.
You did.
Wow.
You did. I get it. I mean, I took a gap as well, and not quite as long as yours, but it took realizing that thing that was missing, and then going back into it. And now I get to play the mom roles when they're available. If you need a mom in your show, here I am. But so you guys, when did this, I mean, obviously the world shut down on March 12th. When did this thing come to fruition? Was it before then?
2017.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been talking about this since then?
We have. So
Yeah.
the first year that I was back was the summer. I had just finished Guys and Dolls, and we were getting ready to do My Fair Lady.
Mhm.
And I was talking to Eryn on the phone on my drive to a performance of My Fair Lady, and she said, "Have you heard of a show called Daddy Longlegs?" And I said, "No, I haven't," because really I'd only been back for like 6 months, so
Yeah.
I didn't know everything.
I hadn't heard it until that week either, so.
She's like, "I can't stop listening to it. You have to listen to it." So I looked it up when I stopped at the BP gas station. I remember this. I stopped at the BP gas station to get the purple monster, the sugar-free grape monster.
I know, disgusting. I
Listen,
can't do them either.
At the time, I was a little larger and really out of shape, vocally, physically,
You needed it for
emotionally,
energy?
and I needed it for energy to get through the show. I had one before My Fair Lady started, then one at intermission to jumpstart my heart and keep going. Even though my character was only ever on stage for 12 minutes, right? Yeah. Exactly. But that's when she told me about it, and I listened to it in the parking lot. I was almost late for my call because I was so enraptured by this music, and I thought it was gorgeous. And from then, it was just been, when can we do this? When's there going to be an opportunity
And
to do it?
it was almost, it wasn't hypothetical, but at the same time, we were like, could we actually put this on ourselves? Like, we've always wanted to do it, but we were like, could this actually be a thing? Personally, I think that the way that we did it, it helped us. Like, the way that since we went to go about streaming it in a way helped jump, because we didn't think we were going to do it before. There was almost, I don't know what I'm to say. There was so much other theater always happening that us having a break from everything else made us realize, no, we can do this. And we decided to go about it streaming and like,
well, and the other thing was, everyone's facing a pandemic, right? So how do you continue to do art, but also at the same time try to make it socially distant, so everyone's like, okay, well, we'll do virtual shows or something like that. But the idea of doing a smaller musical, still a musical, and finding a way that it's just a 2-person cast, so we could be in each other's bubble. And at this point, we didn't have any clue from DeWine about what theater was going to look like when we started this process a few months back.
We still don't.
We know a little bit more now, but as far as can you do shows? Are audiences allowed? Did the performers have to wear masks? We didn't have all that information. So we let's keep it just us. It's a 3-person orchestra, and they can be completely distant from us the entire time, and each other, and wear masks and that sort of thing. So we want to keep it safe. And so we thought this show was the perfect vehicle to do that, and we've always wanted to do it. So it just happened to work out that way.
It's it is a beautiful show. I agree. I remember I was taking voice lessons with Matt Clemens. I mean, this is back in 2015, maybe. When did the show come out? 2014, 2013?
I think. Well, it's been around since 2007, I think. But but it was off Broadway in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, when
it was in workshops and a whole bunch of other.
But when it actually came out, when people knew about it, was later.
Yeah.
Because I got, Matt Clemens gave me I Couldn't Know Someone Less, which is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever, and I
love that one.
Such a great story song. I actually gave it to one of my students, okay, I've had this song, and I can't do this song, because it doesn't make any sense for my age to be doing this song. So I'm passing it down to the future generations, hoping somebody's going to pick it up and have it as their nailed it song. But so how did this start? I mean, Mike, I remember sitting on the patio having a beer with you, and you told me we're doing this thing.
Actually, I had joked around because we kept looking on MTI's website for what was available for streaming, and this one wasn't on there. And I was like, what if we asked, since it's not available for streaming, I was just assuming it wasn't going to be allowed, can we ask if we can do a podcast? And I actually brought you up because I was like, what if we did a radio style podcast? Maybe we ask Krista, and it's not even any visual, it's just audio, because everything the songs and the script just tell the story so well. Mike and I were reading through the script one day just for fun, and my parents were in the living room listening, and they could follow along through the whole thing. And I was like, that's what gave me the idea. I was like, well, maybe we could do it as a podcast. So then we ended up from there just talking about it, and we actually contacted, if you want to tell us about
it. So we contacted Paul and Tom, the creators of the show. So hello. So I went online and played with the Googles, and the Googles gave me an email address for Paul Gordon, and I wrote him, and I said, I don't see that this is available for streaming, but we would like to maybe do an audio only version or a streaming version of this.
For those of you who don't know, that's the writers and the
right. So Paul Gordon wrote, in addition to this musical, Daddy Longlegs, he wrote Jane Eyre on the Broadway show Jane Eyre, and John Caird directed both Jane Eyre and wrote the book for Daddy Longlegs and directed it, and adapted a little known musical Les Mis. Directed that too.
Do you know that one?
He's they're sort of a big deal, these guys. So I wrote the
Phantom in
email.
The Opera. I think that's what it is, right?
Right. Yeah, that's
the Les Mis Phantom in the Opera. Yeah.
Cats.
Right.
Cats.
Cats.
Yeah. Same.
Sorry, I hadn't
But
been
no,
a smart ass
these
in a
people have
minute.
very
so.
impressive resumes, and I wrote them, and within like I don't know 12 hours, I wrote the message to same day. You know, I wrote a message to Paul, and then John answered. So I guess Paul, he was getting Paul's emails or something, but he was like, "We would love for you to do the show. Here's our contact with MTI." And then within a couple of 2 days?
No, like the next day, MTI messaged us back. Like it was very quick, and I think it's maybe because it came through the writers. Like I don't know, but they were so quick getting back to us.
And
it was
MTI
really
is
cool.
like, "You can do the show," and we're like, "But it's not available for streaming." They're like, "We're sorry, we'll fix that right now," and they fixed it, and then we could get the rights for streaming.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
like
it was
almost
cool.
instantaneous. So I think we might be the first people to get the rights to do it this way.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's awesome.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And very fast.
Very fast.
But then again, they probably weren't doing a lot because
Right. And they want their show done, so they're going to kind of jump on it, you know. That makes sense. So when did you so basically you get the rights to something, meaning you're just legally allowed to perform it. Where did you go from there?
Well,
do we want to tell the truth?
Yeah, tell the truth. Don't lie to Krista.
The truth is that we knew that once we started talking to them, that it was going to be a possibility, and then we knew the price. So we started rehearsing ourselves, obviously, before we got the actual rights, just because we were like, this is a lot to memorize. If we're going to do this, we need to start now. So that's the truth I was talking about, if that's what you were talking about.
No, I had a different truth.
What?
Well, Bigfoot came in on day one, and Bigfoot led us through. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
No, yeah. So we started. When was that?
So this was in August, I believe, or early September. We were trying to get the rights in late August, early September, and as soon as we started applying for the rights, we didn't know if we actually had it yet, and we hadn't paid for anything yet. So that's the other part. Is I know you can kind of do that in installments if you want to, but we wanted to pay for everything before we committed to doing it.
Yeah.
We gathered the team together. So that's what we did next. We thought, okay, well, before we get the rights and the scripts and all this stuff, let's make sure we have the people, the personnel to pull this off.
Yeah.
And that made, we needed to make sure we had musicians that were willing to help us out, a space to actually do the rehearsal and the filming of it.
Yeah.
And that was, you know, those were a lot of pieces and parts that we needed to come together before we can actually do the show.
Right. Because you said it's a small orchestra, but I mean, you still got, I mean, with streaming, it adds a whole nother effect of, we need somebody to film so we can stream.
Exactly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So which, of course, you've got the best of the best in town. I mean,
We do. Exactly.
Yes.
And she is working her butt off, man.
She is amazing.
that's gotta be a lot of footage to go through. Like, yeah.
Quite a bit. Yeah. And you know, we try to do our best with everything that we did, but you know, it's film, so you can do several takes if you want to, and we subjected her to those. So
yeah. Jerry Schaefer, for those who don't know.
Jerry Schaefer, yes. Amazing Jerry Schaefer.
Yeah.
He's a
Hire her for everything.
Yes.
So then, okay, I think to me, one of the most interesting pieces of this is where you guys filmed it. Like, how did that come to be?
Well, I enjoy the drinking. I also enjoy the food. So when I was trying to think of places that had both of those things, but also the atmosphere that's right for this show, I couldn't think of a better place than Asterisk Supper Club up in Uptown Westerville. So right there on State Street, it's a great little place. They have the theming basically that you need for the show. It's very speakeasy-ish.
Yeah.
Early 1900s. The shelves, the walls are covered with books, and they have a hand-painted canvas wall that was our backdrop for the show. And then it just, you know, other than loving the spot and knowing that that's where we wanted to do it, it was trying to maybe convince them that it was cool to let us do that, given.
And that we could help too. Like, we wanted to help market them as much as we were there. Like, we appreciate them allowing us to use it. So we did that as well. And I mean, at first we had looked up libraries like all over Ohio. We were like, where can we do this? But yeah, it ended up literally being right down the street from us.
We knew with a minimal budget that we had to find a place where the set was basically already there, you know, and we'd have very few items that we'd be bringing in and out for filming days. And so Asterisk was perfect for that. And we knew that, going there would be the best bet for us since we live close, and it just looks perfect, and it's gorgeous, and the food is wonderful, and the drinks are wonderful.
Yes.
So you, after a hard day of filming, you'd be like, oh, I gotta have a drink, and just one appears right here, and you have it. And you're like, thanks, Daniel, thanks, Steve. You know,
exactly.
They do, honestly. Asterisk has the best bartending staff. They are so sweet.
Oh my gosh, yes, I know. They're the sweetest.
So you started, when did you actually start filming then?
It would have been
2 weeks
ago.
Okay.
2 weeks ago. We had, I think, 5 or 6 total filming days. And that was because that we needed to make sure we were in and out of there before they opened for the day. And we did all of the filming in the morning. So I'm not a morning tenor, so that tells you where my voice was, but we knew it had to get done. So we would get there somewhere between 8 and 9:30 in the morning, and we'd have to be starting to tear down everything around 11 or 11:15. Wow. So it took us 25 minutes to set up and about 20 minutes to tear down.
Yeah.
Every time we went in. 2 cars full of stuff, 2 SUVs full of stuff, and then all of Jerry's equipment in her car.
Yeah.
So
the first 2 days, didn't we get there earlier? Almost like 7:38. So we started singing pretty early that day.
We got really lucky that first weekend. We got in early. The chef was there and let us in, and luckily, I mean, that was great because we got through Act 1 in 2 days for filming.
That helps.
Yeah.
Well, that helps you guys too, because that's a lot of vocal fatigue when 2 people are carrying the entire show.
Yeah.
Can't
I
just
think we got lucky that we didn't like lose our voice or something, because
Right.
it was a lot of in rehearsals just back to back of us coming up to the filming days.
Right, and we wanted to really challenge ourselves. So that first week that we were filming, we also decided to do a concert in Mansfield. So we were out there till 11 o'clock every night after work.
Yeah.
Very wise children.
It's great. We did it though.
Yeah, we did. We had a concert Friday night, got up early and filmed on Saturday morning, and then went and did another concert Saturday night. So,
But I mean, really, for both of you, it doesn't surprise me at all whatsoever. It sounds about right. So
we took the opportunity in the car to run lines and stuff.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Our drive down there and back.
Yeah. So give us, because this is not, and right now I guarantee there's a lot of people listening to this, like they totally did a musical about a spider. That's amazing. So because a lot of people don't know the general plot of Daddy Longlegs.
Daddy.
Daddy
Longlegs.
This is the funny part. When I sent my student the song today, I sent just Daddy in the subject line. I'm like, nope, going back, changing that, can't send that, not okay.
Doing that too. It's like our codes and stuff for things like, and I was like, I think that's, I mean, yeah, it's iffy for me too.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. Just call it DLL. DLL.
That's what we did for the box office email address.
That's better.
DLL box office.
Yeah, I don't want to send something to Daddy.
We thought about it.
I know. Let's not say we, Mike. Let's say that you thought about it.
I thought about it.
I know.
I did.
I know you did. We also share a mature brain. I understand. So I probably would too, knowing myself. So anyway, but give us a synopsis of what is the story? What's the show about?
Sure. Did you want to go?
Sure.
Looks like you're ready to go.
Sure.
I'll think about it.
Stop. I probably will say something wrong. So it's about Jerusha Abbott. She is an orphan, and she show all our waters. She's an orphan, and at her orphanage there are trustees who sponsor children, usually boys, through schooling, through college. And she ends up getting an opportunity, and someone reads an essay of hers and is really impressed and wants to sponsor her. And so she feels honored, and what's the best way to say this? She ends up, I don't want to give away too much.
No, so he has a set of rules that he gives her that she has to abide by if he's going to be supporting her through school. She has to write him a letter every month detailing her education and how things are going and her daily life and that sort of stuff. But with the understanding that he will not take any notice of her letters and he won't write her back, and that's just sort of his way. He wants to remain anonymous.
Yeah.
So even to the point where he gives himself a fake name. He calls himself Mr. John Smith. that kind of thing. So she doesn't know who this guy is, and so she has to imagine who he could be.
Right.
So that's so she uses her vivid imagination to come up with this picture of this guy and who he could be. And all the while, he gets to hear about her life, her studies, her fears, her passions, and he becomes really enthralled with this person, even though he's never met her. So throughout the story, he has to find a way to actually meet this girl.
How old, can I interrupt for a second? How old are these characters? I know they age during the process, but how old?
So Jerusha is about, it doesn't say, but she's about 18.
She would have to be.
When she starts college, and she assumes that he is much older. She thinks that it's a much older trustee, so that's why Daddy is a name that she uses all the time, because she thinks of him as a fatherly figure.
Yeah.
But he isn't as old as she thinks he is. So that's where the story ends up going a different direction.
Well, and his shadow looks like a daddy long leg spider on the wall too. So
Yeah.
there are multiple reasons. She thinks he's this old man.
Yeah.
With long legs, not 8 legs.
Right.
She doesn't actually think he's a spider.
Yeah.
No.
This really wealthy arachnid, but he's just cool.
Spider-Man.
It's sort of like Little Shop of Horrors, where you have to have somebody like doing the animatronic spider, doing like dances and tap
Right,
dance.
we got the people that did the King Kong on Broadway because they weren't.
I love it. That's brilliant.
As long as it wasn't the people that did Spider-Man into the...
Oh yeah.
We thought about you flying in this.
Into the dark. Yeah, a bunch of the Jerushas got injured. So
The Jerushas just kept crashing to the stage. It was like Peter Pan, just one.
so many lawsuits.
So many lawsuits. So yeah, you don't have to give the remainder of the plot, but it is just the two characters the whole time.
The whole time.
And there's no, I mean, even in the original, there's no other spoken lines or anything by anybody.
Yeah, so the original, it was actually based on a novel by Gene Webster, and the whole book is the letters between them.
Mm-hmm.
So, her letters to him. And then in the musical, he finds a way to correspond.
Yeah.
Either through his secretary, who is really just him.
Yeah.
And then he decides that he does have to meet this person. You'd asked how old she was. He's supposed to be in his 30s, but he's nowhere near the early to late 80s that she's imagining.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not creepy, essentially.
I mean, no.
And she ages as well. So she, by the end of the show, she's 23, 24. I mean, it's
23.
even after college. So by the end of the show, she's maybe 23, 24, depending on,
How was it received? Because again, a lot of people don't know it. I mean, and you don't hear of many 2-person shows, even 2-person with small ensemble. There's not much of that out there. Like, how did it do when it first came out on Broadway?
It did really, really great off Broadway. I mean, the show has run, it's one of the most successful off Broadway musicals in the world. It's been performed all over the place. I don't even know how many countries now.
Japan has so many,
has
so many versions, and there's a bunch of versions all over.
Yeah, I mean, Megan McGinnis, who's a Broadway star, in her own right, originated the role and played it for through the entire process. For 7 years, she was getting to know Jerusha Abbott.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
Yeah. And then the final run of the show, she actually played opposite her husband, which was really cool. But the show has been extremely well received. It won the Drama Desk Award that year that it came out, and it's a really good show. Yeah.
Good show. So why this one? I mean, what was it for each of you that drew you to these? Because when you do a 2-person show, you better like that character. You better connect with that character. So what was it for each of you?
I think it was definitely the music that drew us in for sure. I mean, we loved the story as well. I think I fell in love with it because when I first heard it, I was like, that's my voice. Like, I just felt like it was perfect for my voice type. And I was like, I want to sing all these songs. I don't have a favorite. I want to sing them all. Yeah. I loved every single one. And I think every day I would choose a different song that was my favorite, even up to recording. I was like, oh, this is my favorite. No, I think this is my favorite. I love the music.
I love the music too. This score I don't feel like was written for my voice. So it was a challenge to take on and do something different than what my instrument is made for, so that's cool. But as far as the character, there are so many similarities between Jervis Pendleton and me that it's a little scary actually at times. Like, he's generous to a fault, but he also expects a lot out of people, and when he doesn't get it, he kind of throws a tantrum, and that's sort of me as a person, because I'm like,
It really is, yeah.
I don't know if you want to get too far into like personality types and enneagrams and all this stuff, but I'm a 2, so I'm Christ-like in that I'm very giving, but then the bad part of that is that I have so many expectations of stuff in return.
Yeah.
The bad part of the number 2 is that they can become vindictive, or they'll tear you apart emotionally or something like that.
Now you sound horrible.
He sounds horrible, but like, he's like the best guy.
Yeah.
But then he just like, he gets let down when people don't, and so socially he's not always the life of the party, and he doesn't feel like he fits in. He was born into money, and that's not a world that the aristocratic world is not one that he likes to associate with.
Right.
He'd rather do things that are more worldly and mean something, and leaves a mark, and it's not just money, and it's not just throwing it away at useless things that, or just to have them.
Huh.
So he'd rather give him more of his himself, I guess, and leave him that kind of mark.
Now, I know we tossed this idea around, and I didn't say it much before tonight, but if either of you would like to sing something, or if you want to sing from it, give us a little teaser, you're more than welcome to do that. And I'll give you time if you want to get that set up. You can also say no. You're allowed to say no.
Am I included in that offer? Because
No, Ben, no.
I think we can.
Yeah. Do you want to do something?
Yeah.
Do something. Sing for us.
Let me get my score out.
No, we don't need the
You
score.
shouldn't need your score anymore, right?
Well, I'm only off book until we stop filming, and then I'm done.
I am
I've
the
got
exact.
everything. At this
And then
point.
now we're worried we're gonna mess up because we've, in our heads, have finished filming. So.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were like that, Mike. I don't remember a show when it's done. Like, I have no idea of any of the lines from my last.
So I used to be able to hold all of that in my head.
Yeah.
When I first started doing theater, I remember back in 8th grade or something, I had a part in this play at the high school. It was like a junior dramatics academy thing, very similar probably to like courses that you might teach now, Krista. Yeah. And I had this part, and I remembered every line. Like, I knew if you give me a 1-word cue and a page number, I could tell you what my line was.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. And so you could be like page 31 or something like, or whatever the word was before I spoke, and I would tell you what it was.
Wow.
And now I don't have that ability anymore.
No, Doug laughs about it with me because he is the best and the worst for helping me with lines, because I get to a place where it's like, I'm going to need some help. I really don't want to, but I'm going to go to my husband because he is so friggin' nitpicky. I get one word wrong, he makes me go back to the beginning and just keep going. If I get one word wrong, I mean, it could be like a page and a half down. Nope, go back to the top. And so I curse him frequently. Then there's the lines, if I stumble on them and have so much trouble. There was one from She Kills Monsters we were laughing about because it was so awkwardly written. The line was, I rather wish you would have brought. And I still to this day hear, I rather wish you would have brought, I rather wish you would have brought, I rather wish you would have brought. That was the only way that he could help me. Anyway, I digress.
There's so much about this script too. I mean, it's written so, it's very wordy, but it's so smart because like once I say it and I can actually say the lines, I feel like I sound very smart, but I couldn't get them out of my mouth because there's so many adjectives and there's like a lot of lists that like you have to memorize all these lists, like
so many lists,
like so descriptive, and I can't even think of an example, but like
and it's only either you or me talking. I don't know.
Exactly.
Now, if you were writing letters, were you guys using the letters as scripts? No.
Not really, because we wanted to act, but there were some parts at the end of the script that I put off because I knew that I needed to make sure everything else that shouldn't be said with it in my hand. So there's a couple really long letters that were okay if I was writing at the same time. And so I did end up kind of having it there to glance at if I needed it, which by the end of the recording, I ended up not really needing it because I've seen it so many times, but I had it there just in case, so I wasn't blanking or making us record or take another shot, more shoots than we needed.
It's really due to the time constraints.
Yeah.
Once we got set up, some days we had 30 minutes or 40 minutes to record and then start tearing down.
Oh, jeez.
And
it makes you nervous
too. We didn't have set crew, so we're the ones like carrying everything in. We had to zip tie the lights up so that they weren't hanging as low. So there were a lot of things to do in the setup process. So we would do all that instead of warming up or preparing, and then start doing takes while we're sweating from setting everything up, not warmed up. Ripping your pants on a nail. Just all sorts of stuff. You take for granted the moments you have before a performance, an actual live performance, to prepare yourself when you don't have a time at all to do that, and you walk into a space and you're like, we have 30 minutes. And if we don't get through this scene, then what are we going to do? So there's a lot of pressure, and honestly, and I know we're going to sing a song, but I don't know if I would film a show again. I love live theater too much.
Yeah.
Because, and Krista, you can tell me if you feel the same way. Once it comes out and it flops out there, once it hits the stage and the audience hears it, it's gone. It never comes back again. That moment can't be relived. Right. With this, it could be relived forever. And so there's a lot of pressure to get it right the first time, and there's no next show tomorrow kind of thing.
Right.
So
you don't have a chance to try new things or to discover something new. After you've been doing it for a week, it's sort of like, discover now and scene. Okay.
Exactly.
No, but it's the thing that is so intriguing, and that I'm so proud of you guys for. I'm so proud of you guys.
Oh, thank you.
For doing something new and innovative, and the people that you brought on, I know that it was probably just such a joy for them to be doing something as well.
No, yeah.
No, he for sure has, though. I mean, I've heard him say it, even though we've been like making them work really hard.
Hold the zip tie.
Really,
Yeah, hold this zip tie. Cut this zip tie. Brian's like, he's putting all of them up. Brian's going around trying to help cut them down some days, and yeah.
I'm just hoping he doesn't like hurt his hand and can't play or something.
That's the thing, is like the band has also been helping us too, as much as they can, get early and stay late to set up and leave. And we never originally had asked them that. We just wanted them to play the music. So that was really, really awesome that they've also been helping us with all of that. And Jerry and Mike Schaefer, they've been helping load in, load out, everything.
But what an appreciation, though, I'm sure you guys have now, of how much work goes into it for the crew before that, to give us actors our space to breathe and prepare, like, it's giving you guys the perspective of like, and we go now.
Yeah.
Which is, I think that's a whole new skill for both of you. I'm speaking like I know, but I think, just from what I'm hearing, you guys have learned a new skill now that other people don't necessarily have the advantage of, because you're combining live theater. It is still live because you were live, you were singing it, with filmmaking, and figuring out what's going to look best and sound best. And sorry, plant, I hit it. It's my friend.
Your plant. Your friend.
All right, so entertain us.
Okay, do we need to do like a sound check, or you think it'll be okay?
Ben, that's your department, dude.
Sound check.
We just want to make sure you can hear us and the music. We can just go.
The music I don't hear yet, but yeah, so.
We'll just go and hope that it all works out. Okay, this is a song called Mr. Girl Hater. It's in the first act. All right.
I hope an ad comes on.
Hold on. Should we, am I on your internet?
I don't know what's wrong.
It looks like I am. Okay, should be fine. I feel like I belong to somebody now, a kind of family. I feel like I belong to somebody now, a guiding hand, a soul who takes an interest in my welfare.
This is how we applaud in our classes.
Oh.
We do the ASL applaud. It looks really cool. We've got 27 students doing this, so yeah.
That does look really cool.
Yeah, it is.
That was lovely. Very
lovely.
Nice.
Well, thank you.
And that's more toward the beginning then, first
right,
set.
yeah, right toward the beginning.
Okay. What is your favorite song to sing from the show? What ended up being the
I
favorite?
don't know. It changes. What's your favorite?
I have 3.
See, we just love the sport so much.
To narrow it down,
Yeah, well,
the trilogy of my favorite songs.
out of
Yes.
28 songs.
28.
Here are the 3 that I really enjoyed. So there's a song called "I'm a Beast," and I do the reprise of that song, and I really enjoy that. It's a shorter kind of reprise, but it's just there's a lot of emotion and a lot going on. It happens late in the show, so I like that. And then I also like there's a song. What do you think? What do you think I'm thinking?
Oh, I don't know.
Ooh, yes.
A song that you like to sing or
Uh-huh.
that we sing?
Well, either.
I don't know.
So
How
there's a really
often-
cool-
Let me ask you this. How often do you duet during, that didn't sound right. Duet. How often do you duet?
Most of the songs we at least
Yeah,
have a
let's
little bit that
see.
we're supposed to sing
It
on.
says here.
Because this being a 2-person show, there's some that we've seen that it's just like, you do one song, you do one song, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You counting?
Yeah, it looks like there's like 11 or 12 that are 11 or 12 numbers that we sing together
Okay.
in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Some more, some less, kind of thing. When it's a letter that she's written that he's reading, then she's singing her letter. He'll harmonize and he'll be a backup vocal kind of thing. But then there are songs where he's the main focus, and so he'll be singing the majority of the song. But they come together in a few points during the show, and that's my second favorite, which is "Color of Your Eyes."
Mm.
So
That has been your
it
favorite for a while.
recounts their first meeting, so their first actual physical encounter
Yeah.
where they duet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that I love my favorite one used to be Secret of Happiness,
Yeah.
but I think my 2 favorite now, at least that I sing mostly on, well, we both sing on Graduation Day. That's one of my favorites. Graduation Day and I Couldn't Know Someone Less,
Yeah.
for sure. My favorite one that you sing, I think, is Humble Pie. I don't know. I just love that song.
Sing it, Mike. Can you sing us a little bit of Humble Pie?
Sure, I can sing some Humble Pie.
We don't have a track for it.
We don't have a track for it. I mean, I could just.
Just you.
Will you hum the cello part for me real quick?
know.
All right, here we go.
You're just gonna do it?
I think so. I think I
Do
remember
it.
it. Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Is this the one that starts with completely deflating? Is that the Humble Pie?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay.
I can't remember.
Completely deflated.
Well.
I've been hung out to dry. I wanted my cake, but instead she will make me eat helpings of more humble pie. And whether it's Jervis who writes or Daddy's decree, she falls rather short of obeying me. And now there's Jimmy McBride there by her side. I'm ashamed of the man I've become. Angry words on a page that betray all the lies I've spun. I must leave you to find your own way, to fail or succeed nonetheless. I've lost my heart, I confess, and it seems I've turned into someone I could not know less. That's it.
I love it.
Love it.
Pretty.
Love it. It's so
Very nice.
I love it.
So pretty. What a wonderfully written show. I wish they would do more. It's such a beautiful writing team that
They are, and they haven't, I mean,
Jane Eyre was the other
yeah,
one.
but they haven't done, other than that, like, haven't done a lot of big things, but they could, for sure.
Mhm.
'Cause they're-
Yeah. So this is kind of a weird question, but what's next? Like, what happens from here? So you've recorded and it's in the editing process. So now what? Tell us what's coming.
With Daddy Longlegs, what's
Yeah.
coming?
Yeah.
So we have been meeting with Jerry a couple times a week. We were just over there tonight. We're just going over some specifics, inserting all of like some of the takes that we did end up wanting to redo and were able to do. So now she's going to just kind of start going through and doing her thing, and then we'll end up watching it all the way through, seeing if there's anything like we're like, oh, we think it'd be really good if this shot was more on Eryn on this part and we're shot on Michael on this part. We'll end up telling her that kind of stuff, but we're going to let her do her thing. And I think we're just excited to see that. And then from there, we will end up uploading it. And then the 16th through the 18th, it'll be available for streaming
of this month,
streaming or our drive-in.
Tell us about the drive-in.
We have a drive-in.
That sounds cool.
What if you get stranded there?
Well, you can drive out. Yeah. So part of this whole thing is we wanted to find a way to do a show. For us, we wanted to find it for us. We want to find a way to do theater, but in COVID times. And then we kept on thinking, how do we want to present it? And we always thought streaming. But, sitting at home by yourself watching a show, that just, theater is a shared experience. We want people to be able to come and enjoy it as a shared experience. Still safe, still distant, but a shared experience, one where you're viewing it as an audience, and you can be that other character that's so relevant to or so needed for a theatrical performance. And so while we didn't get them sitting in front of us while we were filming it, we wanted to give that. And so it was something we worked really hard for, to try to find a venue where we could do this. And we looked at different churches to see if they were doing, outdoor, summer movie series and stuff, and we could use their screen or do something, but we needed a space. And luckily we partnered up with Platinum TDM, Jacob Ramey's company, another Otterbein guy. We had worked together on Mary Poppins last summer for Westerville Civic Theater, and he had a contact with 400 West Rich downtown in Franklinton. And they have this big lot. It's there across the street from Land Grant. The facility there has strong water in it, and then some other artist communities lots of really cool things going on.
Very cool things, yeah.
And they have a screen. They got a screen. They were hoping to use it more than they did, but they have a big screen. There have been other events there that Platinum TDM helped with. There was a drag show, a drive-in drag show. So they're going to let us use the lot. Jacob and his team are going to help set up the video and sound at the FM transmitter and speakers and stuff, and that's where it's going to go. And that was kind of like the big surprise, the big reveal, because once we knew we could do the show, once we started doing the show, everything kind of fell into place. Once we got the venue.
Well, once we had the first team meeting, we had brought up the fact that we were going to try to do a drive-in, but we just didn't announce it because we didn't know if we were going to be able to make it possible. So it's definitely been in our thoughts for a couple months.
Wow.
It finally all came together, and they're being awesome at helping us out and partnering with us.
Everyone's been really great.
What a great time for this, though, too. It's just like, we've been doing this. It's been going on. And Lord knows when it's going to be over. But also that, with the winter coming up, it makes it even more so like, okay, now what? So it's cool that you guys are getting this just under that, with the ability to do something that people can make it a shared experience. So very cool.
And we kept thinking, it's 3 nights, 16th, 17th, and 18th at 8 p.m. And we're thinking, okay, so mid-October, hopefully it won't be too cold. But then I kept thinking, as a kid, we went out on Halloween and we trick-or-treated for 3 hours, right? We didn't have a car to sit in, or
we walked uphill both ways, and
we sure did. So hopefully it'll be great.
I mean, technically you have your car, you have your blankets.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we Ohioans are going to become more resilient against cold weather because we need to get out.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna find more things to do.
Well, and every place that has a patio around town has been investing in heaters. I've noticed that. So.
Yeah. Good.
Good. Keep us outside as long as we can. It's awesome.
So where can we find information on how to get tickets and all that good stuff?
Ooh, all the details.
Give us the dates.
All right. So here are the deets. You can, if you're on Facebook, you can go to Facebook and search Daddy Longlegs the Musical, and our event page should come up there. From there, you can link to our ticket site, which is Show Tix for You. So if you go to Show Tix for You, if you want to bypass Facebook, Show Tix, the number 4, the letter U.com/events/daddy. That was me. I did that.
He did that.
Oh, I'm
And then
shocked.
when you get to the page, you have two options. You have an option for the drive-in, and you have an option for the online streaming. So the drive-in is $20. There's no additional fees. We eat all that cost, and then you just show up with your phone or with a printout of your ticket to the drive-in on the date that you picked.
And it's $20 a car, so you
$20
can
a
pack
car.
up the
So
car
pack
if
the
you want.
car, you know, with all the
With your
people you've been
family.
bubbling with.
Yeah,
over the
with
last
your bubble, with your
8 months.
family or whatever.
And then the online streaming thing, again, 16th through the 18th, you can buy pre-sale tickets, but the link to start the show won't actually begin until the 16th.
Okay.
But once you start the show, you have 48 hours to finish it. So if you don't want to watch it all in one sitting, or if you're like, that's enough of Michael for tonight.
Watch the first act.
Right. So you can watch it over
tomorrow.
anytime you start it between the 16th and the 18th, you'll be able to watch it for 48 hours.
Brilliant. I love it. So are you guys going to do another one, or like, is this it for a while?
I don't know. The filming thing made us so nervous.
It was nerve-wracking.
It was
I've
so
never been more nervous to do anything. It's think of like the worst job interview you ever had,
Okay.
but they filmed it and then showed a bunch of people.
That's what it made you
That's
feel
what
like?
it made me feel like the whole
I mean,
time.
we would mess up things that we never messed up during rehearsals, and you'd mess up as soon as the camera was in your face.
Yep.
Like, it was just so different.
Ben can speak to that as far as filming. Like,
As soon as you turn that camera on, man, it's a different experience altogether. Yeah, like the most brave people kind of just go.
Hello.
Well, and
Yeah.
you do dumb things like, because normally with a dark house, you can look anywhere out there because you're not really looking at anything, and you can put placements in some places, but you go to look around the room with 3 cameras on you,
You
and
accidentally
you
look right into
accidentally
the
are looking right
camera.
into the lens. You're like, I can't do
Yeah.
that. So we're like, okay, cut. Let's do it again.
Yep.
This time I'll try not to look right at the thing that's filming me.
I have a folder on my computer of freeze frames for people who have barreled the lens in like different shoots that we've done, and some of them are hilarious just because people just yeah.
he also has several photos of me in the worst
Several.
possible-
Oh no. Oh, I've got a trove. So.
Whole trove.
So it's like when I try to make a funny face, that's a normal thing for me, right? You know, I make weird faces sometimes. No, Ben finds the most hideously unattractive frozen pictures of Krista.
Those little like micro expressions that people make like as they're like halfway between like two thoughts, you know, and
No,
like I'll
Jerry,
find like a freeze frame. Yeah.
Jerry sent me a screenshot.
Yeah, we're just
I could
Yeah.
show him. It was a bad face. She was
Yeah.
like, I paused and I had to show you this, and she sent it to me. I was like, oh my
it's fun. Yeah.
It's fun. I think my favorite, Ben, that you've ever done, I don't even know what I was doing, and I don't think I've ever done it again. I was looking at my phone and going, I don't do that normally, and somehow you caught it.
Maybe your nose itched or something.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
might
know.
have literally just been you going for that, and
Probably.
literally all that happens, my playhead lands right there, and then
Found
yep,
it.
found you.
You know, keeps you humble, you know?
Yeah.
That's why we keep Ben nearby. Yeah. Well, guys, I seriously, I'm very proud of you. You've done some amazing work, and I can't wait to see it. So, you know what? Hopefully there'll be people listening to this that are encouraged that maybe some idea that they've had, that it can actually come to fruition. And
It can. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're going to need more of this. We really are.
Yep.
Nothing's wrong with virtual theater, but it's just not the same at this point. So yay for you for making new boundaries and things.
And
Really.
thinking. Well, thank you.
It's awesome.
Thanks for
Well,
having us.
thank you guys, and we'll get the links up so people can look forward to this. And
Yeah. And thank you for singing too. That was great.
yes,
Oh my God.
You have lovely voices.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel bad saying entertain me, but that's really kind of what I felt. So you guys know me well enough that
Sing for me.
entertain
Yeah.
me. Go. We're ready.
Hopefully we entertained you.
No,
Yeah,
you are.
I don't know what key I started in versus where I ended, but you know, it was something.
No, it sounded very on, but yeah, who knows?
It's not, you know what? Ain't nobody gonna know. It's fine.
Right.
Brian's gonna be repeating the podcast with the starting key and the last key just to make sure.
He'll definitely tell me that I did it
Oh
wrong.
no, he will. I know. Yeah, Brian would definitely.
No, he's gonna tell you. You did.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well,
Cool.
my loves, thank you so much, and thank
So
you,
much.
thank you for coming on again. It's always nice to re-welcome people that have been on before. So it's good to see you guys. Know that you're doing well. If you like what you hear, please like us on SoundCloud, iTunes. Was doing so well.
You killed it. It was perfect. You're done. End of episode.
Right?
Cut. So.
Is that better?
There you go.
No, our primary landing spot is the Facebook. I did just start Twitter this week. I don't know that I like it. I'm gonna try.
Twitter's very, I don't know, reactionary. Is it too on the nose to say that about Twitter? I don't know.
Now
Yeah.
everybody that is
I don't do Twitter either really much, so I don't
no.
know how it works.
I
But
know.
we are
I'm
on there.
avoiding social media in general these days, but you know.
Have a feeling that a lot of people are going to do that right now. But
No.
if you're not avoiding social media, no problem. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you are avoiding social media, no problem. You can still
Yeah.
find us in the podcast.
Yeah, find us over on the YouTubes because we are there. We've been posting episodes there, and we've got video up, and you can see us looking at each other, making expressions, that sort of thing, and pause for yourself and find good photos. Send them to Krista and myself, please.
No.
I'm making a mural. It's going to be beautiful. So
That'll be beautiful.
And we're very excited too that about this time next month we will be airing our 100th episode. So thank you to everybody for liking and subscribing. We're very excited. This crazy little labor of love is almost 2 years old. It's
Yeah.
almost a toddler.
Crazy.
But yeah,
with
we're
a worldwide audience, literally a worldwide
yeah.
audience. We have people in, where is it that a whole
today I looked. Somebody from Estonia was on today. Somebody from UK.
once you get one person in Estonia, then
No, it's very cool, and I have no idea who you all are, but please reach out. I would love to
please,
say
we'd
hi.
love to hear from you.
Yeah, and we'll make you sing. Just kidding.
That's why they're not, I think.
Right,
So,
right. But
yeah.
I mean, we would love to speak to our overseas guests and maybe have you on.
Absolutely, it'd be cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do a Zoom call like this with them. It'd be
Great.
fun.
So thank you, and be good and kind. Please be kind to one another. Please be kind. We're in a
Yep.
world of nightmarish hate right now, so stop it.
Yep.
That's all.
Hug somebody you love.
As long as they're in your bubble.
Yes. Yeah. It's with social distancing and everything. Hug them with your mind. I don't know where I'm going with that. Yeah. Brain hugs. Yeah.
And we've reached that point of the podcast. So. All right. Thank you guys and have a great night. Wow. Love ya.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Boxland Media. Think big.